Hi there. It is me, your friendly neighborhood alien, stranded here on the third rock from the sun. Hikaru Star. I'm not moving yet because my phone battery is about to die, and yeah, I'll be setting movement back up probably next stream. Today you can see what I'm working on. And this is the next doll I'm making. This is gonna be my Monday doll. Elvira. I thought this might be a fun doll to make because we got the shoes. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do leggings. I got the hair. Get the hair. I gotta do that. The dress probably I'll probably be able to get the dress done. But it's the hair and the legs and the shoes, and you'll see why in a little bit. First off, sorry I'm late. My partner had a doctor's appointment this morning, and afterwards, because they had a busy weekend at a wedding, and not getting much sleep, they had their brains fried. So we went after doctor's appointment, so it was like get up first thing in the morning to get to a first thing in the morning doctor's appointment. Then after that, it's like, okay, my partner wanted to go over to Hobby Lobby to decompress and look at stuff and get some stuff. And I wanted, and then we went grocery shopping and had to go get dog food so the dogs could eat. And it's just been kind of day. So this is why I'm going to have a hard time with the leggings. The shoes. They're part of the feet. As you can see, they are one piece. But yeah. Also, I'm just gonna be working on the doll today. That I'm gonna go to these players too. I might need them. That was because last week I was having so much. I was so satisfied making the dolls, or finishing up my random doll for July, that on Thursday. Oh, come on. You know what? Let's get you off. Toss you in the bin. There we go. Get that out and that out. But I was having so much fun, or so much satisfied last week just working on the doll, that I kind of want to just kind of focus on that. I mean, personally, I was extremely satisfied with it. It was fun. It was relaxing. Yeah, I may have stressed out a little bit at a couple of minor issues. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I had a good time. And that's kind of what I want. I kind of want my streams to be, is, me having some fun. So I thought I'd do some doll work. And focus on that. On Mondays, I kind of want to do pop culture characters. That's why I'm doing Elvira. I thought she might be a fun doll to make. It's already clean. What else need is the hip. Right now, I'm just trying to get the supports off and brims. But Monday, I want to do the pop culture characters. I had to remember where I was in my thought process. Thursdays, I'm going to be focusing on the random dolls. I'm not going to try to get a random doll out a month. And then on Sundays, I kind of want to work on my personal project dolls. So anything that I don't have done, I'll just work on that. That way I have at least one day working on those dolls. And more if I have the time. So I thought I'd do that. This doll was kind of fun to print because I was still trying to figure out. This is the Polaris base. I was trying to figure out like orientation and stuff. And yeah, auto-oriented, but like one leg would be auto-oriented like this. One leg would be auto-oriented like this. So I got that figured out. I was having some minor issues with like one of the feet kept, flew off. Let's see if I still have that foot. Yes, I do. So I ended up having the foot because I was having so many issues with the feet. I had it oriented like this. And this one, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but this one broke, popped off the bed, and was giving me some issues with the hip. You can see. I had to do some reprints. Like multiple false starts on the print, then, I get everything oriented the way I want it to be, and, then that happened, and it's just like, So she was a little issue. I'm gonna be, the plan, I don't know what the plan is yet, other than remove supports and start cleaning up. I'm putting them in these food containers because they were cheap and they're decent enough storage. Keep things organized, like the head. The head's going to be fairly simple. I'm just going to use the default head for Polaris. So it's going to be somewhat stylized, Elvira. But I think it'll look cool. Any magnet holes or anything? Nope, okay. I should be checking to make sure things fit too properly. Brains. Yeah, so the head seems to fit together nicely. But yeah, I'll paint this to look like Elvira when we get done. Of course, labeled it because I'm doing multiple doll projects a week now. But I thought as long as I'm satisfied with it, it'll be fun. Okay, that'll fit nicely once I get all printed up or painted up and stuff. Okay. Okay. Don't know if it's the right foot leg or not, but I just want to check. I think this will look good. Pieces seem to be fitting together with a couple coats of paint. They'll possibly be a little tighter. Let me grab something before I get too far ahead. I'm gonna need this for some parts. I know that. I know that already. But Twitch has terms of service, and I don't want to violate them. Not with Elvira. No, I was thinking about this on Thursday while I was doing house cleaning for my client. That how I was getting more satisfied by doing the ball jointed doll. I was thinking, well, there's like so many dolls I have in my head that I kind of want to make right now, and I mean, just besides like my personal project characters, and okay, they're gonna be like at the end. Wow, but I got all these like little personal project characters I want to make. I mean, I'll be sanding, but and trimming. But I got like all these little personal project characters I want to make. And then I had like some, like kind of wanted to do like a Dr. Frank Infurter uh from Rocky Horror. I wanted to do him as a doll. Kind of want to do yellow from Mosquita as a doll. Yeah, those will fit together nicely. It's like I want to do that as a doll. And then, I was and I was thinking, oh, that might be fun. Like, what can I do besides just, do I want to get rid of my random dolls? Not really. So I wanted to keep doing the random dolls because it's kind of fun trying to figure that stuff out. Yeah. And then, okay, there we go. Yeah, I'll do some serious sanding on the top here, and I'll have to be very, very carefully paint on some black nails. But then it's like, you know what? I got my personal dolls I could be working on too. I can do those on stream. And it was just like that, and I'm not feeling satisfied playing video games. I don't consider myself like a creative person. My brain, the way I think my brain works is I'm more of a kit basher, and I like just making things. I want to do that more on stream. Games weren't, satisfying me. Yesterday while I was mowing the lawn, I was thinking, oh, tomorrow I get to work on the Elvira doll. And I'm like, oh, I was getting excited about, by the thought of working on the Elvira doll. And that was making me happy. That was making me excited. And I don't get excited to play a video game. I like playing video games, but I don't get excited to play them on stream. Okay. Let me get some. Where's my other scissors? I'll find them. Let me get a couple bits of tape here. Like I said, Twitch has terms of service that I may disagree with, especially when it comes to AI. But don't need doll nudity. So let me just make a couple things to make sure there's not a lot of doll nudity. some doll bases are more anatomically correct than others. Hopefully this works. Hopefully these work. Okay, let me go off camera here for a second. Open up the doll. Take the torso out. Just in case Twitch decides that, you know, their automated systems or YouTube's automated systems later decide that that's inappropriate. Put a couple little pieces of tape there because I don't have any doll pasties. But yeah, it's a little more anatomically correct up there. But I chose this base because better chance of getting the Elvira cleavage. I mean, as you can see, Elvira's got some cleavage. So, I want to get rid of the cleavage. And this isn't part of a doll base. This is just a specific part. Hello. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? Not Malk. I don't want to violate Twitch policies. I do not want to violate Twitch policies here. Okay, I got support on the inside here. So it's oriented like that. Yep. Making ball jointed doll. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. That's the plan, at least. Come on. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna get you all out. Oh, good. I got the tree out. Right now, I'm just trying to clean up the parts. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna start with this. So start by trying to trim off any remaining brim or tree. It looks like the top's pretty good, or this part is. The abdomen. That should fit. Trim off remaining brim and then sand. Yeah, I'm definitely have to sand right there. That's gonna rub in weird. I don't have to sand the under boob. But I'm just gonna trim this off. Yeah, I just wanted to do Elvira because it might be kind of fun. Making her hair. Oh yeah, that would be painful. Thankfully, this is just plastic. I don't have to worry about hurting it too much yet. Once it's strung together and I start getting like details done on the face and this and the like, then I will start going, ooh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You know, I feel kind of like a mad scientist right now. I mean, I got like bits of people and I'm making a person out of it. I mean, it's a doll, but still. I get all this little extra brim off. I think I finished printing this up yesterday. Yesterday morning. Okay. I'll get to sanding later. I'm going to get all the brim off here. And any other issues I might have. Any chunks or strings. I'm using pretty much just, oh yeah, that's going to need some real sanding. Oh, it's Elvira. You got like no forehead visible. But that hair is going to be fun. I have no clue on how I'm going to do that hair yet. The face makeup is easy, but it's that big hair. Okay, anything I need to trim off? Yeah, some from right here. From the skull cap. But this is going to be a fun doll to make. I know that. This is going to be a fun doll once I get going. I can move this tape. I don't need the tape now. Let me raise my chair. Unfortunately, I did start a little late today. I was supposed to start roughly 2 hours ago. But sometimes life just gets in the way, you know? Well, I'm going to have to grind down this. Oh, I am going to have to grind that down. This is going to require a lot of cleanup. But it'll be so worth it. Okay, I think I really can't get too much off with these. But I want to get all that little stuff off before I start sanding. It's going to be a hard doll to give a mannequin to do the nails on. I should have gone for the full 1/3 scale instead of the 1/4 scale. But the 1/4 scale is what I'm used to. It's not going to be perfect, I know that much. I'm still learning. How am I dumping it into there? You know what? I can continue dumping into there. There! What fell? Light. There's my light. Light. There we go. All the way down there. Okay. Oh, I lost an elbow. Oh, that would have been... Elvira kind of needs her elbows. No, Elvira... Oh... I don't know how many years ago now it was when her book came out. But I thought it'd be a fascinating read because she seems like a fascinating person in general. If you haven't read her book, I'll have to grab it and get the name. I think it was like Cruelly Yours. Read it. It is fascinating. Definitely a interesting. Yeah, this is the ground. Definitely an interesting person, or at least Cassandra Peterson is an interesting person. Not was, as far as I know, she hasn't been taken from us yet. But she's had a life. Oh, but she seems to be living her best life right now. So I am very glad of that. Where did I put those clippers? Those are my sketchbook. Whoops. I'm just gonna dump it in here. Grab what little brim is in here. Unfortunately, she's not going to look perfect. One of these days, I'll get brave, and I'll figure out a good spot to put my resin printer and make a doll out of resin. And that's just going to be ground for the most part, I think. Yeah. I mean, at least everything's fitting together. And when she's painted, that's going to be fun. Everything should be fine. Hopefully, by the time I make the doll for my partner, the doll my partner wants, I'll have enough skill at doing this. Not to feel too embarrassed by giving them that doll. A little bit right here in the knee, still a little bit of support. Not a little bit of support there. Okay. Oh, the feet. This is going to be fun to put together. I mean, at least Elvira's in a dress. The outfit's going to be easy. I don't have to worry about pant legs. I don't have to worry about filling too much. That's good. Worried about that. The last doll's feet were like so bad at the bottom. I oriented the foot like this. And I was worried I had to do a lot of filling up in here. But that is something I think the paint can, once I get painting done, that'll take care of. Most of this I'm just going to grind off when I get to that point. Okay. Okay. I'm going to move the doll pieces over here. I could get like a tub or something and just put them in. Oh well, let's start sanding. A lot of this, more of this is going to come off with the grinding. I'm trying to at least get somewhat sanded here. So I'm using, it looks like 60 grit right now. Let's try to smooth it out. Let me put these down here so I have space. I'm gonna say Elvira is kind of like an icon of mine, you know, a hero, and not in any kind of weird way. I don't want to be Elvira. I mean, I wish I had her sense of fashion and her sense of humor, but I wouldn't want to be Cassandra Peterson. I wouldn't want to, you know, have to put on her costume and try to be her. I know I would fail miserably. But oh, you know, she starts off as like a horror host in LA. But her and her husband at the time managed to keep the rights to the character, which meant she's always been in, well, her and her ex-husband were in control of the character Elvira for like ever. And now she's in control of the character. When it comes to rights and stuff, that's really just kind of cool. I like it. I think I like the fact that she's in charge of her own character. Trying to sand off that seam as much as possible. That seam from the 3D printer. I'm gonna get in there with a nail grinder and grind that down. But I'm trying to get rid of some of these layer lines too. Because I'm more comfortable using, I mean, the glue will help fill that in too. But I'm primarily using my FDM printer. I should be wearing a mask. Crap, I think I'm out of mask. Do I have a clean mask around here somewhere? Should be wearing a mask, very least. One of my cloth masks might work. Okay. Oh, oh, boy. Little elastic bit or little plasticky bits that helped hold the ears on this thing have come off. Okay. I forgot to put my mask on. You know what? Let me grab this tub. Got my tub of soapy water right here. I'm going to be rinsing in there, but I can do the sanding into here and put the parts into there. Yeah, this will work. This will work far better. A lot of how this looks on the end is because it was like that on the print bed. Well, more like that. I mean, you want that thicker end on the print bed. If you do this, it's liable to go punk at some point and then can ruin the whole print job. One of the things I'm learning. I have to go pick up some sandpaper at some point. That looks fine. I also know you do not want to use a Dremel on this stuff. A Dremel, a proper Dremel, even at lower speeds, can spin too fast. And you don't want that. Because if it spins too fast, too much friction. And too much friction means melted is too much heat, and that means melted plastic. So today's focus is pretty much just cleanup. I did the same with these. Heavy side down, the thicker side down. Not nearly as rough though. Okay. Clipper. Okay. I have a smaller right here. There we go. Raise the seat back up. I don't know how much you can hear of this. I think I'm going to make stand a little bit here so it's not touching the table legs. Also, roughing this up will help with paint adhesion. Because I will be painting this. You'll see it's like so many doll makers on YouTube. They, they're using like, if they printed a doll, they're gonna have printed it up out of resin. I don't feel safe enough around a resin printer yet. Did I get to down there? No, I didn't. I'm not trying to make it completely smooth. The paint will help out with that. But I do kind of want to get these rougher edges off. If you want to know where all the microplastics in the environment are coming from, me. It's coming from me. I take full responsibility. Of course, I was kidding with that. Don't sue me or anything. I don't think I make that much microplastics. Okay, almost. Now, okay. This one I want to file differently. Oh, actually, you know what? Nail file. Okay, I'm gonna work on shoes next. This is gonna be a lot more grinding, I think. Now I printed her out of pink because under flesh tones, I don't think the pink's gonna be as noticeable. Especially when you're saying like the inside here where I would put the S hook. When I get to stringing. Unfortunately, I only have a single, I can only print it in a single color. Well, fortunately, I can only print in a single color. As there's like so much printer waste with a multicolor printer. I do like looking at multicolor prints. I think they're cool, but I don't like the amount of waste. Okay. I'm gonna hit that with a nail file, I think. Well, maybe. I'm gonna be very careful on the heel. Because that is a very thin plastic. After shopping, we did stop at McDonald's to get a quick bite. So I was finishing off my Dr. Pepper. Yeah, this weekend's been a weekend. So, hey, on our feet. Oh, yeah. Um, so my partner had to go to a wedding this weekend. I stayed home to watch the dogs. And my partner left like first thing Friday morning, like 9 in the morning. Not first thing for everybody, but. And I hadn't gotten much sleep. But my partner had to leave like first thing to get down. Not really much time to say goodbye or anything like that. It was just like quickly gather everything, get it all packed up, and then head out. Head out. That way they could get down to the wedding in time for the rehearsal dinner. And for me, I mean, my partner was gone for a couple days. And then, while that's going on, the city is putting down the gravel on the road. And they're putting the gravel on the road before they put the asphalt. They had dug up the road last week. So they're putting the gravel down and rolling it into the ground, and the whole house is vibrating. Like audibly vibrating. Not just physically, audibly. You can hear the shaking of the house. Crap's falling down, dogs stressing out. It was nice weather. I could have gone out and mowed, but I would be right next to all that stuff, so I stayed in. Try to get the dogs calmed down, start getting stuff ready to be printed up. I didn't want to start printing until everything was a little more still. I did end up streaming Friday night, working on my last doll, getting that finished up. Get my previous doll finished up. You know what? Let me show that previous doll here in the keyboard. These are the pics I ended up taking. Let me get that opened up here. But my previous doll. Trying my best to pose. But I got that finished up on Friday night. And then Saturday was I had to get out and mow the lawn. Getting everything started printing up for Elvira here. And my next doll. get this style and my next style printed up. I want to get that started. Then I had to go out and mow the lawn while the weather was still halfway decent. I get about halfway done. I'm just using a manual push mower. A manual mower, so it's not like it's taking me just a couple minutes to do. I'm out there for a bit. Starts to drizzle. I'm like, I'm gonna try to get as much more as I can done before it starts to rain. And then it starts raining, and I'm soaked by the time I get into the house and putting the lawnmower away. So I didn't want to get too wet. I was exhausted. I was cooked. You know, that then it's like, okay, get more printing done. Stay up so I can get as much done as I can on the printer. And then maybe I'd be able to finish up on Sunday with the mowing. Thankfully, Saturday was quiet roadwork wise. You know what? I should sand these a little bit more first. Gonna be a quick rough sand on this here. I'm so worried about accidentally breaking a heel. I have to reprint a foot. No, I'm not going to worry about that. Foot's too small to worry about that with. Whoops, sorry, bumped my mic. I gotta get remember to get up here. But yeah, running low on dog food because we couldn't pick up dog food on Friday because of how early my partner had to leave. I'm gonna worry about. I'll do some quick grinding on the knees here, I think. But it's like, okay, running low on dog food, couldn't pick up anymore. So we got road construction, the need of to get some dog food, and we have to use, and we get something that we can only find at a store that's not within walking distance. So I have to wait for my partner to get home before I can do that. So Saturday night, you know, it's like, okay, I get done, I order a pizza, I watch an opera singer reacting to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was fun. She showed the whole movie while reacting to it. I mean, she'd pause and rewind and pause and rewind and explain and pause and rewind and explain a little bit more. Because, you know, trained opera singer. So she was primarily talking about the vocal performances. But it was also her first time watching it. That was fun. So I'm eating pizza and watching that all night. Barely get any sleep Saturday night. I don't get to bed until midnight because I'm waiting for like the last print shop to print. And then I wake up at like 4 in the morning. Wake up at 4 in the morning, couldn't get back to sleep. I'll just grind the rest of these pieces, I think. That'll probably work a lot better than sandpaper. Try this nail grinder for that. I left the rest of the pieces in my kit. Let me get my doll making box out. Oops. Of course, I have stuff stored on top of it, and now it's caught on something. Oh, sorry, Crypto. That's my puppy. He's like, what you do? I have an old sewing box that I keep all my doll bits in. All my tools for doll making. I figured that way it could all be organized. And I had this little nail grinder for this. It's not as strong as a Dremel, so it tends to work better. On turbo. Yeah, but I barely get any sleep Saturday night to Sunday morning. I mean, I get some sleep, but not nearly enough. So I'm like exhausted when I wake up at 4:30. I can't get myself comfortable. So at 6:30, 6 in the morning, I actually get my butt up out of the bed. Way earlier than I wanted to. Start working on the next print job. When it gets late enough, I go out and mow. I didn't want to go out first thing in the morning. So it's like cancel stream because I'm super tired. Go out and mow, make myself even more tired. Yeah, it looks good. I go make myself even more tired by mowing the lawn. But I try to stay up as late as possible. I end up taking a nap, trying to take a nap. Of course, while, I'm getting comfortable for my nap, that's when my partner gets home. My partner said they wouldn't be home until like late Sunday. Get home at like 5 o'clock at night. needs help getting stuff into, out of the car and into the house. Meanwhile, I gotta get all the dogs, locked up and dealt with. Before I can go out and do that. Thankfully, I got the lawn mowed. My partner, though, was brain fried. Sounds like their weekend was like maybe 8 hours total over the weekend, sleep-wise, and then running around, for the wedding they were going to. So they were fried yesterday. I finally get to bed at like maybe 10:30 last night. Going, I have to get to bed because my partner's got a doctor's appointment this morning. Thankfully, I remembered my partner had a doctor's appointment this morning. They didn't remember. They're wondering why they had all the alarms set up on their phone. To make sure they got up in time. Everything should still fit nicely. I wish I could just print this up and string it. Oh well. But they were fried. So I get up first thing in the morning with my alarms instead of sleeping in. Get up with the plan to maybe get a quick shower in, and then my partner's like, "Oh crap, I have an appointment." So I'm telling because I remind them that they have an appointment. I remind them that they have an appointment, and they're like, "Oh crap!" So it's like rush out the door. Quickly get dressed and rush out the door. No shower. We need to get dog food because we're out of dog food. I ran out of dog food last night when feeding the dogs, so we had to grab more. Go grab dog food and get shopping done too. So my partner goes to their doctor's appointment. Then decides we go to the only craft store in the area, Hobby Lobby. We have no other craft store. Kind of sucks. When we go to the crafts, we go to Hobby Lobby. I get some more stuff for doll work. But, it's like standing around looking around Hobby Lobby. We don't get out of there until like 11. We're in there for like 2 hours. Still have to go grocery shopping, mind you. We don't get out until like 11. Like after 11. Go grocery shopping. Thankfully, my partner was like, I'm going to go into the game store. You go grocery shopping. So we go grocery shopping. Then we have to go pick up dog food. Plus, we're both hungry because we hadn't had breakfast yet. Neither of us had breakfast, so we go to McDonald's. Then go get our dog food, get home, and then I'm like, okay, it's already after 1. I have to get ready to stream, but I still got to feed the dogs and get everything set up, get all my tools out. Oh, man. Juice. Okay. Let me. Oh, that ran out of juice. Sorry, Crypto. I have an outlet. Okay. Okay, it works when plugged in. Had to get it plugged in. Okay, that should be good enough. Maybe a little more up here. It's like get home, get groceries put away, feed the dogs, give my little boy his lunch. Hours late, mind you. It's already after 1. He usually eats around 8:30 in the morning. So he's not happy. None of the dogs are happy because they hadn't had their breakfast yet. So we didn't have the dog food to give them breakfast. Would have done that stuff on Friday, but my partner had to leave like super early. Trying to even this out a bit here. So that's my day. And then I start stream late because got so much to do. Okay. Do not get near the heel. As far as I'm going, I'm not getting near the heel. I will break it off. I think doing the foot orienting the foot that way seemed to help out a lot. Doesn't look nearly as bad as the bottom of the foot did on the other doll. There you go. So yeah, after shopping, is get home, get the dogs, groceries put away, dogs fed. And then get then get a quick shower in after getting everything together. All my tools together for this. I had all the parts together. It's like getting all the tools out into roughly the same area. And I'm not going to do any in the bottom of the shoe. Okay. There's the seam. There we go. This works great for sanding PLA. Like one of these little nail grinders. Oh, I have to get the bottom a little bit too. Kind of rough. Plus I want to grind out that seam a bit. This one we found at a pet store. Hoping we could use it to grind down the dog nails, but they were, and the boys are scared of it. And if I bring this close to one of the boys, they're gonna go nuts. And I don't want to do that to them. They're good dogs. Trying to grind down the seam so it doesn't cause any issues. You want it tight but smooth. That's what she said. Okay. This is the same with pretty much every doll I have to make. Or not have to make. I want to make. But this kind of thing works great. It doesn't have to be this brand, just this general kind of tool. If you have a 3D printer and want to do some, cleanup, okay. Almost done with the legs. Ugh. God, I remember how big Elvira was in the 80s. She's an LA horror host, and you're seeing her everywhere. Commercials all the time. MTV. She was huge. Still is. Because Google is a thing, and you see her stuff crop up pretty much everywhere on Halloween. It's weird just to think that this, talented comedian that probably could have, possibly would have ended up in obscurity at some point, is now like has made herself into like a never-ending icon. She won't die anytime soon. Cassandra Peterson. She's getting older. In a few decades? Yeah, maybe. But Elvira? No. What Cassandra Peterson created? No. Okay, I'm just seeing what I need to do. I'm just gonna hit with the grinder. Really don't need to do too much on the outside, I think. Couple spots that can be smoothed out. But nothing major. I don't want to do too much. And risk damaging the doll too much. There's a couple areas that could be smooth. And I see a seam on the nose. A little smoothing in the eyes. Not much. It seemed like right behind the ear. This one turned out a lot better than the last head too, I think. The last head was a lot rougher down in here. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Here, yeah, I'm going to do grindings here too because it'll be a lot easier. A lot of supports were attached to here though. There we go. It's like weird when I go into the makers and crafting category. There's a lot of people doing 3D printing in the makers and crafting. You're just seeing like a camera feed from their printer. And you got people like me, you got somebody like me who's like, I'm just gonna use a 3D printer off cam and spend nearly a work week making a doll. The last doll I did a rough estimate on the time. And to make the doll and the outfit and the hair and all of it, basically a t-shirt and jeans, it was roughly around 40 hours of work. I'm gonna hit that with some sandpaper maybe. Turn you off, let you cool off. I'm gonna try to see how bad is that gap. And where are the issues? Um, okay. Usually just around here on this side. I mean, a lot of this will also be under the wig. Thankfully, a lot of this will be under the wig. I do want to get rid of the seam. But over the weekend, I did get some stuff for doll making too. Some equipment that, could work out pretty well, I hope. Same with today. I got some stuff for current project. I got some stuff for all projects. I'm going to work on the torso next. Okay. Gotta be careful of the tape. I mean, the underboobs aren't going to be seen. Still. I feel better. That was sanded a bit. If I had a better camera, you'd probably be able to see it. I'll hit that with some sandpaper. I think that'll probably work better. Yeah, I'm gonna put this over here to charge. Now stay away from the nipples. Hot under boob action. One thing this will give me is great practice on patterning clothes with boobs. For dolls with boobs. Possibly some bridging issues down there. I am not an expert. I'm only saying what I've heard. Looking at like 3D printing forums and stuff. A little melting isn't bad though. I'm feeling some of the cracks. You know, I'm gonna hit it with this. Grind down the underboob. Okay, next scene. Excellent. Now in the arm socket. A little rough. Not too bad. A little here too. Not much. Get this seam taken care of here. Smooth out the upper boob a little bit too. Okay. Be careful to get my eye on where the tape is. Okay. That should be fine. There. Get some viewership. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I had that over there. I feel bad about doing that. This is actually really good. I don't think this is going to need too much. I mean, it's not the first print of the abdomen. Here's the first print. Here's half of it. Here's the other half. Ran out of a spool while printing up the torso. And the abdomen's the belly and the pelvis were so had such a crack in it. It snapped in half easily. Okay. But I have this in an old cotton candy container. My partner loves cotton candy. Whoops, there goes the thigh. But I don't know if you can see it, but this is the previous version of the torso. There's a crack right here where the layers when printing. That side can be down there. Now, I'm worried about it. I kept those pieces as backup pieces. Okay. Oh. Arms. Okay. I'm going to start with the hands. That way, if I have to reprint hands, I know right away. The first style I printed and strung, I kept having issues with the fingers because they're so thin. I ended up, I'd be removing the supports and the finger would come off. I ended up gluing a finger back on. So I had printed up like so many hands. I'm gonna be very careful. I don't want to break the fingers. They will snap. I do not want these fingers to snap. Okay. This is the boring part. I mean, I do find some satisfaction doing this. But I much prefer the painting and getting this all together. When Equinox, my last doll, when I finished him, oh, that feeling. so satisfying. The other hand. Oh, there we go. It needs to look better up here. I want to set up like an area to photograph my dolls. And get proper stands made. Hands done. The upper arm. I'm just going to go with the grinder. I hate sanding. The sanding paper. This goes so much faster. Because all it is like a little Dremel. Okay. Quick. Right in there. Be good. You really can't see it, but I'm trying to get the seam off here. AKA where the printer starts and stops each layer. I hope they'll be done with road work soon. Elbows. Elbows done here. There we go. Oh, almost. Okay. Good enough, I hope. Once it's painted, it'll look better. There we go. Okay. Oh. Get my chair up. Oh. There's me completely ground here. Okay. Almost. Quick. Okay, get the seam taken care of. Okay. Hmm. Almost. Almost. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Okay, turn you off and let you charge. Okay. I'll be sweeping this up later. I'm gonna throw this into some soapy water and rinse. Hopefully the soap will catch it. Okay. Let me grab my towel. I'm using a microfiber cloth to try to catch any loose pieces. Then I'm gonna go set everything onto a towel to dry off. Trying to get everything a quick wash and then let the air dry. But I'm doing it arms, legs, torso. I'll do the torso last. I'm just going to move that there so I can see where the parts are. Okay. Every video I've seen, or at least the videos I've seen on cleaning, recommended microfiber towels, which is what this is. Okay. And I'll go put those onto a towel after I get everything done. But I just want to get it in the water and hopefully rinse it off a bit. The air drying will have to finish it. Towel fell onto the floor, so I'll pick that up in a second. Whoops, sorry about Mike. A little agitation. Towel. Unfortunately, my towel's behind me. Next stream, I'll be moving again. I'm gonna do the shoes, the feet last. I don't want to do it too violently because I don't want to break the heels. lid on the container here loosely, just so everything stays in. Okay. I'm gonna do the same with the top, but I'm gonna take the tape off. So okay, I'm gonna go to this. Go to my chat setup so you don't so Twitch doesn't see the dowel protrusions at the end of the boob. I don't know if its automatic filters would detect that or not, but I don't want to risk it. I do not want to risk it. Especially when it's all wet and glistening. I can kind of see where they attached it. Okay. I also don't want it to see the butt, like that. One thing when it's like the arms and the legs and the head. Twitch's filters might not pick that up. But they would pick the other up. They would pick the other up, and I don't want to risk it. Okay. I am going to go put everything onto towels and have to clean up this mess. But I got Elvira's bits cleaned off. Next week, I paint. On Thursday, I do all of this again with another dowel. And Wednesday, I'll be doing something. I kind of want to stream Wednesday because I didn't stream yesterday. So I'll be doing something. I might make some Ranger keys. I might work on my personal one of my personal dolls. One of my OCs. I might even clean up the next doll. I don't know. But I will be back sometime next week. Or sometime I'll be back this week. I'll be back Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll be back to this doll on Monday definitely. Yeah. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful week and there's no road construction going on where you are. And you don't have to smell that lovely smell of tar while they're putting the fresh asphalt down. Oh, I can't breathe outside right now. I will see you on Wednesday. See you on the flip side. Bye.